Welcome to a new anime review series. This one is one of the most strangest ones I've watched. In terms of story and animation, this is My Wife is the Student Council President. I'm kidding. This is pretty much talking about the first season of the series aired back in 2015. Yep. Yeah. Unlike the last couple series I've watched with everybody having light novels, excuse me. This is adapted from the manga of the series, which, by the way, the manga is not very long. It's like 69 chapters, and that's pretty much the series. Yep. Yeah. The characters are Ui, the student council president. You had the VP, who is the main character of the series. His name is Izuma. There's also the secretary, the treasurer, who look like little girls, so I think actually older. Yeah, that's kind of the strange thing about the series. Characters look very young, but they're actually older than they look. It is by far strange. There's Rin Matsumation, the disciplinary committee. In these episodes, she only appears for like the first half of the season. For about the first like 70 episodes, and then she just stops appearing. Yep. Her sister, she lives with her sister basically, believe it or not, is a school nurse. Yep. There's also Satori, who's a little girl who basically looks after me. There's one character who really doesn't make appearances. Yeah, none of the same thing. He does not. It's the president of the photography club. Everybody else does. Not this character. Nope. Here's the strange things happen in this series. Okay, when characters start acting freaking crazy, like in the case of the main female lead of the series, she starts having chicks pop on top of her head for some reason. We also have very strange animation where characters like this, like very normal size, they pick them up and they just look like tiny little kids for some reason. Yeah. Now, first episode is this: Yui delivers a passionate speech about liberation, love, and she wins the election right after she throws a bunch of condoms in the audience. That is not a joke. Heck, even the guy who became who became VP, even he was shocked the fact she did. And here's the strange thing about this student council: there's only 4 people here. I'm thinking student council. Wouldn't there be a little more people than 4? I guess not. And 3 of these 4 are all women. Yep. So they have their meeting, and then basically, Izumi falls asleep, woken up by, Yui, and he says, "Are you gonna be home by 8?" He's a little curious, like, "No, I got cram school by 8. I'll be home at 10." I'm like, "Okay, see you there." He's wondering, like, what the heck is all this about? And he gets home, and then she shows up at the door proclaiming, "Yeah, I'm your bride, and I'm living here now." He's like, "What?" Even I, basically, heck, in case you're wondering, this is from the manga, and even the manga, I thought this was strange. Yeah, and here's also, before I continue, each episode, despite being an episode of an anime, has an opening title sequence and a closing title sequence. These episodes are 8 minutes long. Really, really short. Like, I got through like 6 episodes in about 20 minutes. Well, I got through that much in barely under an hour. Usually, like 12 episode season take me roughly about 4 hours to get through. Nope, this took me really quick to get through. Yep. And then, like, she's like, oh, like, and of course, because apparently married couples sleep together. Despite the fact what I heard in Japan, that's actually not true. They actually sleep in different rooms. Yeah, the way I think the writer writes this series, like, oh, we have based upon Americans back then. Oh yeah, and the character looks so young because the West thinks all people here look so freaking young for their age. Yep. Now Yui is normal. She's like 15 at the start of the series, and then by episode 11 she turns 16. Yep. Yeah, and then of course we have a thing where okay, like she wants a kiss from Izumi. They're like, I'll kiss you on your breast. Like what? And first he starts groping her, and then he actually, I'm not going to describe the sequence. It's just that really odd that we had to have this in the series. Okay, fine. Oh, in case you're wondering, is this a hentai? No, it isn't. There's a hentai version of the series, but this series is not technically a hentai. It's classified as a erotic comedy. Yeah. Very next episode. Of course, they're like, are you going home now? It's like, nope, I live here now. It's like, what? Yep. Oh, yeah, and they run afoul of the disciplinary committee head, Ren, who doesn't like people holding hands. Izumi basically points out, though, it's perfectly natural people hold hands. So he holds her hand, she gets embarrassed by it, and, well, this is a minor plot thread that lasts about 2 episodes. Yep. Episode 3. And this is really weird. Like, okay. Because of the fact she tripped, and of course they wanted to get shelter from the rain, so stay at a love hotel. Make it like the second anime I've watched where characters stay at a love hotel. But no, they do not have sex. Nope. So he decides to wash her clothes, to be polite. It's like, get her clothes, like, don't get naked, just want to change your clean clothes. Okay. It's like, ready to bring you spare clothes? Like, okay. Put on this costume. And it's a bunny costume without the bunny ears. I thought was so hilarious. And then, of course, there's some abductive stuff, but nothing really much happens with it. And they leave, and of course, Yui has a misunderstanding about this. That leads into the very next episode, where they kind of basically explain it via, like, an email. Like, and of course, Rin had to be there because she, yeah. And of course, they kind of made up. And then, there's something really weird. It's like, okay, he's like, she wants a kiss. So, not on the chest this time. It's like, he gives her a kiss on the head. And she's like, nah, I want a different kiss. And they start making out in the council room, which is... The student council room is like the back... is like a storage library. And they're making out for a while, and then all of a sudden this little kid shows up. Now, he assumes, like a lot of people, is this your little sister? It's like, nope, it's her mom. Oh yeah, and they reveal in the final episode how old she is. You want to know how old this little girl is? She's 42. That is not a joke. She is 42. Her father is 41, and he's really young. I'm like, really? This little kid is this woman's mother. Yeah, it's one of those things in anime where characters, despite being very, very young, are actually older than they actually appear. Yui looks pretty normal compared to her. Though she kind of looks like a bit of a middle schooler. I would say Izumi is actually pretty indifferent to the rest of them. He is like really tall. He looks like he's about 6 foot tall. And he's pretty thin too. And he wears glasses. Yeah, almost a lot of time you see him wears glasses. And of course, anytime he has a perverted reaction, either his nose bleeds, like typically you see in anime, or, and this is something you note in anime, his glasses crack. This way, like next shot, basically, his glasses are perfectly fine. Yep. And of course, they go home, and then of course, well, they have a bath scene, because of course they do. And of course, lucky enough that Yui's mother decides to not to come in the bath and completely naked. That's what typically would happen, but nope. She comes in wearing, look like a nightgown with no underwear, and she hops in the tub, tries to claim, hey, come in the tub, son. It's like, I'm not your son-in-law, because they're not technically married. They're not legally married. They just claim to be married. And of course, well, Yui comes in the room. Look how she technically, of course, her mother basically explains to you, nothing happened. Nothing. I just hung out in the tub while he was washing himself. Yep. And then she stays, and then she leaves right after that. She doesn't appear again until the final episode of the season. And this, of course, when Rin shows up, and she is actually living next door. Moved in with her sister, her smoking hot sister, mind you, who is a school nurse. First, and here's something really weird. First he calls her nurse, and then he calls her sensei. Now, I get the whole sensei thing. That's what people call teachers or people they respect sensei. Yeah, and of course, Masami, Rin, decides to become more like, can I borrow a pot? And he's like, okay. And can I borrow a mess of soup? It's like, thank you for the soup. And then she finds panties on his living room floor. And here's the thing. Those are Yui's panties. And he mistakenly, he assumes that they're actually, first was the panties. And like, okay, right off an older aunt. And apparently there's an image of Yui's mother. He's like, hey. And then we see lipstick, like, oh crap, it's not the aunt. This is his, and that leads into a really, yeah, I do believe very strange encounter. Like, okay, apparently it feels he's a cross-dresser. For some reason. No idea why. And in the very next episode, he apparently has got bags in his, so I guess he was studying all night. And of course, President leaves after he does. And apparently the school nurse decides to drag him straight to the office, to the infirmary, puts him in the bed, like, really, this early in the morning? And then she proceeds to put makeup on him and a wig and claim he's a girl, and then it's completely forgotten about. It looks kind of odd. Though next time Rin is seen, she's seen giving, well, she's seen giving Izumi a pair of panties. By the way, these panties do come to play in a little bit. The secretary and treasurer see this, and they think it's some bribe. And, of course, Yui's kind of a downer. So, treasurer cheers her up by putting bunny ears on her head. Yeah, I thought this was quite funny. And so adorable. And then, of course, the secretary, I think it's the secretary, treasurer decides to shove her into the president's chest. Just because. Like, oh yeah. Recharge her preserves for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, she has a pervy side. Yeah. I'm not kidding. And then, of course, what we have, well, during the summer's time, they actually have a summer episode where Sagawa basically is bringing a humongous backpack full of, what? Books. Yep. And then, of course, she says, yeah, these books not as heavy as Rin's breast. I'm like, what? Okay. And here's the thing. That's a minor thing. Like, it's like this whole series tends to poke fun at Japanese stereotypes when it comes to anime and, of course, real life. Like, the Japanese be younger than they actually, like, they're actually older than they actually appear. The big breast thing. And, yeah. Also, whenever characters are picked up, basically, they kind of look like tiny people for some reason. It's the way the anime looks, and the manga did the same thing too. Yep. And it's like, I tell you, like, oh, Sleepy was like, nope. And of course, she figures out right away that the president stays with him. Of course, he does not mention their relationship. Oh, yeah, and also, Yui told the secretary and treasurer that, yeah, they're staying together. Okay. Fine. And they do more sexual stuff, which I'm not going to describe. It's really odd. Episode 11 basically is the birthday episode, where it thinks, oh yeah, this lovely see-through like nightgown. Those friends like, nope, and kind of forgot about what basically we're about later. Yeah, and then the final episode, basically, Izumi meets Ren's father, and he looks like he's about 15. Not a joke about that. He looks like he's 15. Despite the fact he's 41. And he's like, what is up with this family? Why do they look so small? Yeah. And of course, like, apparently he doesn't like tea, so he throws it at Izumi's head. And this I thought was really strange. Okay. So apparently these two can't sit on a leather couch or chair. Nope, we have to be on our knees on the frickin' floor for some reason. It's probably a tradition in Japan, I don't know. I know the whole thing on a knees thing is kind of a thing where that's for begging, but for greeting guests, I thought that was kind of strange. Yeah, so it's like a grocery shopping, and they get back, and of course, well, the Yui and Izumi basically comfortable in bed together, and like try to rub because they're cold, but turns out they turn the AC off, and the episode ends basically with Yui's parents revealed these two have been sitting outside the door the whole time. Yep, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm not going to describe some of the strange things that happen in the series. Oh, there is one thing I will mention. There's at one point, it's the whole thing of the panties thing. Yeah, Sumi basically, when she comes over, yeah, apparently she accidentally wet herself, so you have to basically give her a spare pair of panties, then she washes to get back to him. Yeah, and also the whole scene of when he's turned to a girl, apparently both the sisters decided, like, okay, take off each other's, like, they probably said, oh yeah, there's like, I'm gonna take off my panties just because. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm taking my bra too. Like, what? Okay. And then Rin's like, no, I'm gonna take off my own panties. And the whole panties thing leads to Izumi removing Yui's panties, and don't worry, he doesn't really do much of anything with it. It's particularly very strange thing. And he's like, man, outside is like so distracting. Let's go someplace else. Yeah. Kind of a weird series, say the least. Though next episode will cover the OVA for the series and the second season for the series. I don't know why for the series it's 8 minutes. Like each episode is just 8 minutes long. It's strange, but it's gonna probably like this for us the series. I'm not sure how long the OVA is gonna be. I highly doubt it's gonna be 8 freaking minutes. Who knows? I'll find out when I watch. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for the OVA review. Okay, this next episode. Bye.